With the vast world of the Internet easily accessible to kids and to online predators, it's increasingly important to protect teens in this digital age. Fortunately, this is not as daunting as it seems with the advent of legislation designed to protect children online. There are a number of important statutes that have been enacted to protect kids online. But before we begin discussing them, take a look at this question and start thinking about the reasons for protecting children online. When you're done, click Next to continue. The Children's Internet Protection Act, CIPA, is a federal law that governs what content is accessible online through computers in public schools and libraries. Its major function is to require libraries to block or filter images that are obscene, pornographic, or otherwise harmful to minors. CIPA also requires schools and libraries to educate children about Internet safety and the proper way to conduct themselves online, specifically in regards to cyberbullying. It also requires that libraries enact a policy that states the protective measures in place for monitoring the online activities of minors. CIPA further stipulates that the library policy must address hacking, dissemination of protected personal information, and use of email and chat rooms. All of these stipulations are designed to, as stated by the Federal Communications Commission, address concerns about access to offensive content over the Internet on school and library computers. Another such policy is the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. This legislation has a much different but also necessary function as compared to CIPA. Under this act, any website collecting personal information from children under the age of 13 must obtain parental permission first. This extends also to any pen pal services, message boards or chat rooms, or email services. This means that, under COPPA, websites dealing with children must comply with the list of stipulations shown here. Take a minute to review the policies of CIPA and COPPA by answering this question, and then click Next to go on. There are numerous other statutes dedicated to protecting children online. Among these are the Keeping the Internet Devoid of Sexual Predators Act, KIDS Act, and the Protect Our Children Act, POCA. Each of these is designed to keep children and teens from interacting with dangerous predators online. The KIDS Act requires sexual offenders to provide the National Sex Offender Registry with their email addresses, IP address, and other identifying information. This aims to make sexual predators easy to track online and thereby easier to prosecute if they commit further crimes. POCA is designed to put child predators in jail. It authorized additional funding for law enforcement officers to investigate child exploitation and mandated that child rescue be a top priority for any law enforcement receiving federal funding. It also allocates funds for high-tech computer software utilized for tracking down and identifying online predators. The subtle differences between all of these statutes can be easy to confuse, but they do have plenty in common. Consider the statutes by answering this question and then click Next to go on. The list of federal and state statutes designed to protect children goes on, and new measures are constantly being enacted to further this goal. One of the most helpful tools to keep up to date with these laws are blogs dedicated to the subject. It's not enough to just keep yourself informed, though. Teens and children should know about these laws as well. Encourage discussion about these statutes, what they mean, how they affect children, and why they're in place. This will keep young adults mindful of the dangers out there, and maybe kids can even help those who are dedicated to helping them. Here are some real-life examples of how the concepts discussed in this lesson could be used in a classroom, either as a teaching tool or an administrative aid.